Welcome to the 2016-2017 NBA preview. We are back at it again, 2 years in a row, covering 30 teams in 30 days. I'm Josh, or Enviers, and with me today is my co-host for this series.
How's it going, guys? King of the Fourth Quarter here, also known as Jeree. Welcome to the NBA preview.
All of our links will be in the description below for you guys to check out. We're back, though, bigger and better than ever than before, with updated graphics that I did myself, paying homage to the Grantland. If you don't know, this series is heavily inspired by Bill Simmons and Jalen Rose when they did the NBA preview, and hopefully us as Grantland fans and NBA fans were able to carry the torch that they started. So today we are covering the Philadelphia 76ers, ranked number 30, going to have the worst record in this upcoming NBA season, but they're going to have some competition, as you guys will soon see in my next episode. Teams trying to compete for that worst spot. I feel like the 76ers did improve, but before we go into the future, let's talk about what they did last year in the 2015-2016 season. The Philadelphia 76ers overall finished with a 10-72 record. Looking back at my NBA preview last year, we called it, the Sixers being the worst team in the NBA. I'm pretty sure a lot of people called that. They have a youth movement going on. They fired Sam Hinkie. A lot of things are happening with this Philadelphia 76er team. Ultimately, last year, though, was a failure, but I guess in Sam Hinkie's book, it was a success considering they were able to land Ben Simmons. A lot of trade rumors were happening between Noel, Okafor, with Embiid's health.
One of my biggest questions is whether or not Joel Embiid is actually going to come and play. So we've heard the different rumors about Jahlil Okafor or Nerlens Noel being moved, putting all the trust in Joel Embiid when we really don't know what to expect. Coming out of college, they kind of compared him to Kareem, which is a huge stretch in my eyes. But really, we don't really know what to expect. So I don't understand why they moved two guys that have proven to be at least okay for a guy we just don't know much about.
So let's take a look at the future of this Philadelphia 76ers team and take a look at what they did in this offseason. The Philadelphia 76ers acquired Gerald Henderson, Jared Bayless, and Sergio Rodriguez. Proven players in the NBA. Not so much Sergio Rodriguez. He played for the Portland Trail Blazers back in the day, played overseas, and he's a veteran presence that the Philadelphia 76ers may need. Looking at the players lost, well, the majority of the players lost from this team will probably be out of the league in a year or two, if not already. And anyone that will have a significant role will probably win more with other teams that pick them up. They drafted Ben Simmons at number 1, Timothy Luwawu at number 24. Hopefully I pronounced this man's name right. These are the two rookies that will probably make an impact with this Philadelphia 76er team, as well with Dario Saric finally coming overseas to play with this team.
Now, as far as the draft, I think they did a pretty good job. Of course, Ben Simmons definitely, or it seems like, at least through Summer League, that he was the best player available. Timothy Luwawu, after watching him a couple games, after watching him for a couple games, I actually think the guy can actually be a real player in the league. Now, I'm not saying all-star, I'm not saying anything like that, but a nice quality player. He seems very athletic, so a 3-and-D type guy for sure. Of course, they got Dario coming over finally. The 76er fans have been talking about him for years, it seems like, since he's been drafted, and he's finally coming over. But as far as free agency, I was kind of confused. It seems like their attempt to act like they're not tanking by getting some veteran guys, but still, we all know they want to lose.
It's unfortunate. Moving on to the rotation of the Philadelphia 76ers, this is how their starting lineup looks like. Jared Bayless, Gerald Henderson, Ben Simmons, Nerlens Noel, and Jahlil Okafor. Moving on to their bench, Joel Embiid, Dario Saric, Robert Covington, Nick Stauskas, and Sergio Rodriguez. Very questionable starting and bench lineup. They're definitely going to have to do some moves that we'll talk about in the future. But how do you feel about this rotation?
It's soft. It's soft. The guard play is really lackluster. Of course, we're not looking at them to be any type of contender or anything, but they definitely need some help at the guard position. The big men seem to be okay. They got depth there, probably a little too much depth, but everything else is just bad. And that's why they're the 30th team right now.
Moving on to the projections of this Philadelphia 76er team. Like we said in the beginning, this team went 10-72. Almost matched the record for the Golden State Warriors, 73-9. Flipped backwards. That's absolutely crazy. But over under, where do you see this Philadelphia 76er team being this year? Above 10 wins or below?
I'm going to say over 10 wins because honestly, Ben Simmons alone seems like he can be the type of player to get the team a couple wins. And overall, if we look at their roster compared to last year, they're better. Even Joel Embiid's not the player that they want them to be. He's going to improve the team.
and he's coming back, so maybe he could actually help this team win more than 10. And I feel like Ben Simmons too, what he did in Summer League, I feel like he can translate that a little bit into the NBA. He's going to have to work on his jump shot, but not everything needs to happen in 1 year. It's a process. And Philadelphia, they've been in trust the process mode for the past, I don't know how many years now. So I feel the same way. I feel like they will win more than 10 wins. This year, they will be a better team than last year, but being a better team does not mean making it to the playoffs, winning a championship, unfortunately. And I feel like all Philadelphia 76er fans have a realistic mindset. They're going to be at the bottom again, but they might win a few more games than they did last year, and that's always something to cheer about.
I think they're happy. I think the fans are happy with this offseason, honestly. They got the player that they wanted. Right. They got the player that they believe is going to be their star over the next couple years. I think they're really happy.
I would be happy too, you know, after so many years of being the laughing stock of the league. Finally, to have a foundation, they need to figure out what they're going to be doing with Okafor and Noel, because like we said in the beginning, a lot of trade talks with them. I feel like they don't need to trade them right away. Play a few games with them, you know, go up to trade deadline, see if what's working and what's not working. If Noel's not performing the way they want him to, or if he's overperforming, trade him away. Same thing with Okafor. Try to get some assets out of that. Noel is on a 1-year expiring deal, so will teams want him? Who knows? But I feel like they don't need to pull any triggers before the season starts. They could wait, see, play it out, and see what happens until then.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's way too early to be thinking trades. Just let it ride for a couple weeks at least, and see if these guys can mesh, because you never know. Some of these guys could come off the bench and actually be okay with their role and actually provide what they need.
So with that said, the first ever episode of the 2016-2017 NBA preview is a wrap. Like we said in the beginning, we're going to be covering all 30 NBA teams for this upcoming season. Essentially, it's a power ranking, and we're going to be giving you our in-depth analysis and predictions as fans to where we see each individual team and how we like their offseason moves and their projected rotations. We should have clashing opinions on certain teams being ranked in certain positions, certain teams being too low, or certain teams being too high, and we'll be able to get into that at the end of each video at the projections. Mind you, this is my list, and I would love to know your opinions on each and every single team as well in the comment section below. Leave a like, leave a comment, share this on Reddit, share this anywhere on social medias that you have. It will definitely help this series and channel grow. I've spent a lot of time on this series and would much appreciate all of your love and support for this series and your love for the NBA. Now that the groundwork is laid out, I know I've been rambling on for quite some time, but any last words?
Thank you guys for watching. Be looking out for 29 more of these.
There you have it. Nice and simple. With that said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I shall talk to you guys in the 29th team tomorrow.
Peace.